Well, Stu, pretty good weekend for some of your runners on both, or some of your tracksters on both the men and women's side. Pretty good weekend for you.
Yeah, it was. It was another good weekend. We had 18 personal bests and 15 season bests, and had about 8 changes in the top 10 list for the all-time top 10 list for Beavers. Had a provisional qualifier here in Sienna in the women's 400, so it was pretty good. Still seeing some good stuff, and just kind of getting to that stage of the game where it's getting a little tired, maybe a little sore, and got to make sure we're staying away from the illnesses and injuries.
Sienna, talk about your race. It's original. Just talk a little bit about your race, and did you feel good going into it?
I was really nervous for it, but I think it helped because my mom was at the meet, and so I don't know, it's a fast track anyway, so I went out pretty hard on the first lap, and then I guess just hung on to it and worked out.
Do you think you can run fast? I mean, do you think you can improve on that time?
Yeah, because in my heat, I ended up winning my heat, so if I had somebody ahead of me to chase, I think that would help me get even faster.
And then I guess pretty good weekend for you as well, Kaleb. And I just talk about sort of what you were, I guess, seeing out there. From I obviously wasn't able to see what happened, but from what the release, it sounded like you cleared that first jump, and then you were awfully close on the rest of your tries at 15:1, I think it was.
Yeah, I right off my release on the pole at 14.7 and a quarter, I just knew I was gonna make it because of you can tell right when your takeoff. And at 15.1, got a little jumpy, and I still put together some good attempts at it, but it just wasn't quite enough. And it was about 13 jumps I took, so that's a high number for me. So I was getting pretty tired at the end there, but hopefully I can pull it together and get it soon.
Stu, we've talked in the past about the progression that you make from week to week, and it's not so much about team totals, that sort of thing. It's about getting better each week. And with what you have just said about this weekend, you are progressing as a team the way that you hope for it from the start.
Oh, definitely. I mean, for us, the best indicator that we are progressing is people are setting personal bests or season bests, and we're forecasting stuff already for conference in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, of where we can place or what we can do, and people are making that progress. I mean, Kaleb made a huge jump. He was 12th last week in the conference, and now he's moved up to 6th or 7th or something like that, so more into that point scoring ability, and just across the board, a lot of people. And we had some good improvements even on our 4x4 relay teams for both the men and the women. So things are coming along real well, and it's just a continual building process to the peak.
Pretty exciting weekend coming up this week too, because you're going to see some more Division I competition.
Oh yeah, definitely. The meet this weekend, the SDSU, South Dakota State University Classic, is there. They just finished a 300-meter indoor track. They've had a couple meets on it so far this year, but the times have been looking really fast, really good. And they're going to have a lot of D1 schools there from this region, a lot of D2, NAI, D3 schools. So it's going to be pretty big, a 2-day meet, and there'll definitely be a lot of competition. They're really being particular on accurate entry marks to put people in the proper heats and seeding and that. So hopefully we'll have a few people in the very top elite heats of like the 400 and 200 and so forth. And then I think Kaleb helped move himself up to be in the higher vault. This past weekend at NDSU, they had it split into the open and the elite, and he won the open. He would have placed 5th in the elite one. So the difference was the starting height that they did for each one of those. But it's all a matter of progression, and this weekend should be really good because it will be our last competition before conference. So getting marks to help us improve our seeds going into the conference, and just a really nice fine tune-up with some high competition.
Sienna, do you like, going and competing in, I know once you get into conference, it's gonna be all against D2 competitors. Do you like going up against Division I athletes?
Well, it's definitely nerve-wracking, but yeah, I like it because it pushes me and it's good for us, I think. It's pretty scary.